Hello. This is the lecture on the Russian language family of derivatives with funny meaning. The root is Весёл. As we see in the first word, the root is Весел. This is also in number 6. Весел is the short form of the adjective. Funny. We have short forms of adjectives in Russian which sound very poetical and very beautiful for some reason. You know, the short forms of adjectives used in poetry, and they are very beautiful. In this lecture, as you see, we have here 12 verbs of the family with the same root, derivatives of all different parts of speech. Here in the right, I'm showing with my big pointer, purple. In the right upper corner, we have here all parts of speech, all kinds of parts of speech. We have a noun, we will have adjective, adverb, verbs, we have verb, infinitive, we have participles, active and passive, and we have reflexive forms of the form. We have a lot of stuff here, and anybody can listen to this lecture. For advanced people also, advanced level students also very good, and for everybody is good because it's a lot of what's going on here. Also here where I'm showing right now in the yellow frame, I'm going to show you a few words, prefix verbs, and this is many of these can be open as separate topic of grammar. Okay, so this lecture is very comprehensive, you know, has a lot of things. You can make a picture of this slide and listen to it a few times. I have an advanced level of Russian student, and he confuses this word. Maybe the reason is because you see in the root of the word веселье, fun, a noun, we have year, the second year, and it can be alternated with yo, and you know, yo with two dots on the top we do not mark in writing, and that's why kind of confusing. Okay, and here almost in the center of my slide I'm showing you other forms which is just homograph the word which is written the same but pronounced differently. Весел, весло, весла. We are not confusing them. It's totally different context. Okay, and I'm showing here with the same color pink arrow to the boat, and the boat, the simple boat with two oars. Well, it has motor engine, but still oar. Okay, so oar is весел, plural genitive, весло, singular, one oar, одно весло, весла, plural nominative. Okay, so you see, it can be confusing, and that's why it's very interesting lecture. So the first one, we have веселье, 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 3 syllables. How many vowels in Russian language? That many syllables we have always. Веселье is fun. It is a noun, and as you see in this slide, I could not possibly fit example sentences, but in description I will give quite a few sentences examples with everything. At first I posted like this, and then later I will add up. Веселье with highlight, yellow highlight. I show you the stress. Веселье, noun. Number 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Please watch my lectures about adjectives. I always stress it for students. Adjectives in Russian language. Be aware always 4 forms. If you remember this way, 4 forms of adjectives. Genders: masculine, feminine, neuter, and plural form. If you remember this way, you will be much more comfortable recognizing adjectives all over in all kind of contexts, because our adjectives are coordinating with nouns in cases, so the endings will be changing. So if you know basics, it's kind of helpful. Okay. Also, here on the bottom, I have 9, 10, 11, 12 numbers. They are participles, couple kinds of participles. Participles, they have adjectival endings. Complete form of participle, full form of participle has also adjectival ending. And it gives you the idea that this kind of participle describes the noun as the adjective do. Okay. And as I go, I will be giving you examples of phrases. Okay, so number 2, 3, 4, 5, they are 4 forms of adjectives: masculine, feminine, neuter, and plural. When I study German, and they have also 3 genders in German, and I always put for myself blue color masculine adjectives, and I do the same here, and it's very convenient. Already, your brain already preconditioned for the color, and you learn better this way. Okay, so blue I put always masculine, red I put feminine, green I put neuter, and plural is not important. Plural, there's some kind of dark blue. Okay, so I will repeat them. Весёлый, as we see here in our root, the ye changes for yo. Again, in writing, it's not going to show. I'm showing you here because it's lecture for students, okay? But in writing, in the books, it's not going to show. But you cannot say веселый; it will be very wrong, or веселый, or whatever it will be very wrong. This is the only correct form. So please imagine that it doesn't have 2 dots, but you remember весёлый. Весёлый, very frequently used word, and all derivatives from the root. That's why I'm showing it here. Very frequently used every day. We want to be funny and jolly and joyful, and весёлый. We use it many times a day, everywhere. Very important to know this all family of derivatives. Okay, so весёлый, for example, весёлый разговор, joyful conversation, funny conversation, весёлая, весёлая девушка, joyful, jolly, funny girl, young girl, весёлая девушка, весёлое лето, neuter will be лето is summer, funny summer, joyful summer, весёлые песни, number 5, plural example of phrase, весёлые песни, joyful songs. And here in the same line that number 5, I am repeating for you not to confuse with the other meaning of the verb, the or. Okay, not to confuse. At first, let's look at number 6, and then we will come back to this with what not to confuse. Number 6, I show short forms of adjectives. For masculine will be весел. For example, он был очень весел вчера. He was very joyful yesterday. Он был очень весел вчера. He was very jolly yesterday. Она была весела. Look, guys, at the stress of the voice, vocal stress. It falls on different syllables. We want to speak beautifully, and we want to speak correctly, and this is very important lecture for this reason. So on был весел, he was jolly. I'm showing you past tense sentence. Она была весела. She was jolly. Она была весела весь вечер. She was very joyful all evening. Они были веселы, они были веселы. You know what? This is double stress. Sometimes, quite many times, rather many times, in Russian language we have two stresses. We have two correct stresses. So how do we, Russian educated people, how do we go what is correct? Because we want to be very correct when we speak, okay? And how do we go around it? We look at good in the good dictionaries, not whatever dictionaries, but we have names. For example, Galperin, special dictionaries, author Galperin, and special dictionaries we have which explain pronunciation, and so in those dictionaries they sometimes will say this is preferable stress and this is also possible. Two stresses are possible, but this is preferable, this is not. Now, with my student, I'm reading, we read everything with him, but Pushkin, for example, we read Pushkin today, and Pushkin for Pushkin or any other poet, poets can change the stresses for poetical reason, for reason to have a rhyming, okay? And Pushkin, there was other reasons, you know, also old. Pushkin was born in 1799, so this is was born in the 18th century and lived 38 years, and so that we are talking about that time. Also maybe archaic old forms. So Russian stress is very serious topic to study, Russian vocal stress. The more we know about it, the better. Okay, so one more time, this plural form I'm showing here, short form of adjective. Они были веселы, они были веселы. Actually, both are correct. I could put stress here. Веселы, I could be веселы. Okay, it depends. You know, sometimes it depends on context, how we want to stress it. It's very interesting, actually. You know, it may be very situational. Russian stress is not stable feature at all. And I'm showing here in number 6 line, I'm showing that it is adjective, masculine, feminine, and plural forms, and they are short forms, very popular forms. And now I will show again you this boat, the boat. Number 8 is веселиться самому. Веселиться as we see, we have here reflexive ending, ся, веселиться. However, we pronounce like pizza, pizza in English, ца, this ending. Ch, ся, we don't pronounce as we see. Okay, so this is one of few exceptions which we have with pronunciation in Russian. Веселиться, look at the vocal stress. Веселиться is to be in very happy mood. Веселиться, to do different joyful activities and things like that. Веселиться, to entertain yourself. Веселиться самому. Verb infinitive, reflexive, I show here. Number 9, 10, 11, and 12. These 4 are participles. Веселящий. And I already told you, participles have adjectival endings. I. Although we had here in number 2 весёлый, it's hard ending. However, we have, you know, hard ending. By the way, it's the rule, the spelling rule of Russian language. We can never put after sibilant. Sh, it's sibilant. Sibilant sound, we call the sounds which snake can make. Sh, or cat, sh. Okay, so we call them sibilants. After sibilant, this is the rule, spelling rule of Russian language. Never we can put okay, number 2, this one. Never, only I. This is the rule. This is a children study at school, this rule. So that's why the ending here is I. It does not reflect on the pronunciation. Pronunciation is I, you know, веселящий, she. It's not hard, not soft. After sibilant, we cannot hear hard or soft, okay? So number 9, веселящий, кого-либо, entertaining somebody, person, so this is active participle. The person is doing action himself, present, right now. Веселящий публику, you know, комедиант веселит публику, веселящий, что делающий, participle. Веселящийся, сам. Веселящийся, as we have reflexive, very logically, reflexive, it's myself, you know, веселящийся человек, you know, entertaining himself, or happy person, веселящийся. Person who is having at this time some kind of entertaining activities, we call веселящийся. Okay, reflexive with reflexive ending. So this will be reflexive participle, active participle. Number 11, веселивший. This is past tense. Веселивший, the one who was entertaining, for example, yesterday, past tense. This is active participle, past tense. See my lectures about participles. I have many. Веселивший. Тот комедиант, который веселивший публику вчера. Не который, а веселивший публику вчера. Who entertained the public yesterday. И веселившийся, the person himself was doing this. This is reflexive ending. So this is participle, active participle, past tense. If, these suffixes. Okay, very good. Here on the right we have the group in the yellow frame, and I will read it. Повеселившись, повеселив. I can finish right here, and I can not. I may do without pronunciation of the ending шись. Okay, and then I will have депричастие, short participle. In English language we do not have word for it. Short participle, I don't like this word. We have special депричастие, because we also have short participle, короткое причастие. We have a bunch of them, many. And look at my lectures, I explained a lot of times. And so this is депричастие, повеселив. In English we will translate it as a past tense. We will translate with perfect participle, having entertained somebody. Okay, so this is active, short, past tense, повеселив. Повеселившись, it is reflexiveness. Okay, so having entertained himself, let's say. Okay, and then what happened? Повеселившись. Prefix, it also has prefix here, по. Prefix gives us perfectiveness, gives us fastness of the action. Okay. Развеселившись. Развеселившись is to become, like, for example, the person was sad and then he became jolly, you know, became jolly, maybe started drinking or something, some other reason, and started being jolly. Развеселив. Развеселив кого-то. Okay. If I don't use the ending, I will have I will need object. Развеселив народ, you know, to having entertained crowd. Okay. Развеселив, развеселившись, and развеселившись will be himself, the person. Развеселившись, having entertained himself and having become happy. Okay. Развеселиться, and this is the infinitive from which this депричастие, short participles formed. Развеселить, again, if I cut out reflexiveness, I will have I will follow with the object, direct object, развеселить толпу, to which will be accusative. Okay. Развеселить толпу, to entertain the crowd. Развеселить толпу. И stand-up comedian развеселил толпу, past tense, entertained the crowd. И развеселиться, this will be reflexive. Okay. Himself, became happy himself. Развеселый. We have, you see, we have prefixed adjectives. How wonderful. Развеселый. Развеселая песня. Very, very nice. If we describe very jolly, joyful, fast dancing, Russian dance, or singing, we will say развеселая песня, развеселый человек. This person is always very happy, you know. We use it. It's beautiful. It's nice. And altogether, this meaning of this derivative family is very happy and nice. Okay. Okay. I hope it was helpful. I'm going to repeat all of them before I finish the lecture with the parts of speech. And of course, you have to know the pronunciation, where to put a vocal stress. I didn't highlight with color yo, because yo is always stressed, always, without exceptions. Yo. If you see yo, however, like I said, they don't write it, okay? But if you see it, you stress there. But this one, remember. Веселье. Веселье is fun. Веселье. Веселье. Fun. Noun. Nominative, singular, neuter. Веселье. Весёлый. 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 Jolly. Весёлый человек. Joyful person. Весёлая. 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 Женщина. Joyful woman. Like I. Весёлая. Весёлая, весёлое, весёлое настроение, весёлое настроение, happy mood, настроение neuter. Okay, so we will use a neuter adjective. Весёлое, весёлое. У меня весёлое настроение сегодня. I have a happy mood today. Весёлые, весёлые ребята. Весёлые ребята was a very popular Soviet movie. Весёлые ребята, very funny, very nice, easy, funny, without problems, you know. Весёлые ребята, very popular, so you can see it on YouTube. Весёлые, number 5, and across number 5, the pronunciation of these ors were весел, genitive case plural, весел, нет весел, у лодки нет весел, the boat doesn't have oars, нет весел, весло, одно весло, one oar, весла, весла, давай я сяду на весла. Let me sit and you know, start rowing, you know, on oars. На весла. На что на весла? This is will be nominative and accusative plural. You know what? I'm already repeating for you repeated adjectives. However, here on the right, весело. Весело is adverb. You know, нам было весело. We have to start with dative. Нам было весело. We were very happy. We were entertained. That's the phrase. Sometimes in Russian language we start sentences with the dative case pronoun, you know, to initiate different things. And in this case, им было весело. We have to start with dative, this kind of sentence. Нам было очень весело. Very popular, extremely popular, frequently used sentence. Нам было очень весело. We had a lot of fun. Весело. Okay, adverb. So as we see, весел, we have here the root, and or adverb, like I say to students, piece of cake, always, or we can recognize adverb never change, never changing. You see, adjectives have four endings, but adverb never changes. You know it, you know it. Весело, весело, весело. Adverb. Let's go now to number 6, short forms of adjectives. Let's repeat. Весел, весел. A man. Он был весел. He was happy. Она была весела, весела. Ending а. Она была весела. She was happy. Они были веселы. Они были веселы. Они были веселы или веселы. I told you it's kind of maybe like this stress or like that stress. Number 7. Веселить. Веселить кого-то. Веселить кого-либо. To entertain somebody. Number 8. Веселиться. Веселиться. Давайте веселиться. Let's have fun. Веселиться самому, веселиться. Or we can say it in inviting, you know, inviting. Давайте веселиться. Let's have fun. Number 9. Веселящий. Participle. Active present participle. Веселящий. Человек веселящий кого-то. толпу, the men making happy the crowd, веселящийся, веселящийся, веселящийся артист, you know, entertaining kind of himself, not a good example, artist, performer on the stage, веселящийся, веселящийся народ, that's better example, people, happy people who are having fun usually during holidays, веселящийся, веселивший. This is past tense participle, complete form, I'm repeating, showing with this adjectival endings. It's complete form of participle. Веселивший и веселившийся. Веселивший past tense participle active, веселившийся вчера, you know. Народ, веселившийся вчера, сегодня должен работать. The people, crowd, who were having fun, entertaining themselves yesterday, now has to work, you know, Monday or something. And here in the yellow frame we have prefixed, in the yellow frame we have prefixed депричастие, short participle, not very good name, but not other name in English. Депричастие, повеселив кого-то with needs object, и повеселившись, it's by himself, past tense short participle, повеселив, usually will be making participle construction past tense. Развеселив, prefixed, perfect, always perfect, having entertained, because past in English we translate with perfect participle, having entertained. Развеселив, also having entertained. Повеселив, what is the difference по prefix and раз? Повеселив, it's like to do some time and you know, from beginning to end action. But развеселив, it's like at first everybody was sad and then he initiated that action, and then it is not a finished time. While по prefix gives us semantics of from time to time, you know, from certain time beginning to certain time, and повеселив, okay. Повеселив народ, он ушел, you know, he did his action and he left, so it is the timely thing. But this one is started, initiated, okay. Развеселив. Развеселиться, this is infinitive from which two short participles created. И развеселый, very nice prefixed adjective. Развеселый, we already have веселый here, развеселый. Thank you very much for listening to me. Till next time. Goodbye.